Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment on HeartNet with graduates of our very own Managers Training Program, better known as MTP. We're here today with three alumni from Cohort 9's graduating class, here to share with us great insight on this program and their journey post-MTP. With us today is Janet Aponte, HeartShare's Compliance Coordinator in our Compliance Department. Welcome, Janet.
Thanks so much, Erica.
Awesome. We also have with us Emily Petrie, resident manager at our Duran residence location. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you, Erica.
And also with us today is Tanya Samuels, coordinator of our Short and Nolan residence. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we're going to get into these MTP questions in just a minute, but you three are either embarking or have already hit double-digit years with our agency. So I have to congratulate all of you on your tenure and growth with the agency. So Janet, this upcoming February will be 14 years. Congratulations.
February makes 15
Wow.
years.
15 years, 15
Yeah.
years with the agency. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. And if you can just talk, just really brief, a quick snippet on maybe your starting position and how you've become the coordinator now for compliance.
Sure. So I started out as a receptionist in our foster care department back in 2011. And when we affiliated with St. Vincent Services, I became the visitation coordinator in 2014. Eventually, I went over to QI at 2015 as a coordinator there. And for the past 3 years or so, I've been a coordinator for the corporate compliance team.
Amazing. Quite a journey already.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Emily, you're coming up on 10 years this upcoming January 2026. So congratulations. Can you
you.
share your growth journey with the agency?
Yes. So I first started as a DSP 2016 in one residence in Queens, and then I transitioned to Duran in about a year later. And then by 2018, I was offered the management position along with the AMAP position, and I took it, and it has been a great decision for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And Tanya, your 11th year with the agency is also coming up January 2026. It's like this group is all growing together.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Can you share
thank you.
what your growth journey's been like since starting?
It's a little similar to Emily's. I started out as 16 hours of DSP on Saturdays. Um, and then 2 years after, I went to senior DSP for the overnight. A year after that, I went to assistant manager. A couple of months after that, assistant coordinator. And then 3 years after, I received the coordinator position. So it's been a ride.
It's been steady. It's been steady. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to all three of you on this journey. And we're going to get into our MTP questions. And it's always wonderful to sit with alumni who have been growing in their roles and just growing with the agency overall. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tanya, we're going to start with you. What has MTP taught you about your own leadership style?
There's no iron team. For me, I rather I rather get stuff done, by myself rather than asking anyone to do that. But in the position as manager position, you can't work by yourself. Number one, you leave room for faults, right? Room for error, and you get burnt out. So I kind of rely on my team as far as the DSP, the managers, the SSCs, anyone that's in our group, in our clinical group. I rely on them for support, because with me, you can't just do this job by yourself. You cannot.
Amazing. So MTP's taught you how to lean on your team more and just be a
Yeah.
team player
Yeah.
and to include everybody. That's so amazing. Thank you. This next question is for Janet. Janet, what elements or parts of MTP did you enjoy the most?
So before starting MTP, I was actually pretty familiar with a lot of the topics that were covered during the cohorts. So I went in not thinking that there was really much for it to teach me, not because I knew everything, but because I already had a pretty good innate understanding of the subjects it would teach me. I was like, this is common sense. This is things that I know it, I don't know why I have to learn a process for doing time management, for instance. But instead, I learned that even someone with good time management skills can still learn tricks to be more efficient, and that things like empathy and understanding can make it easier when you have to have difficult conversations in the workplace. And there's always more to learn, which is the beautiful thing about MTP. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. Because of it, I'm an all-around better professional. So even if I don't currently manage a team myself, I'm a better team player because of MTP.
Mm, awesome. Awesome. Definitely a lot to learn. We get a lot of people who are surprised by how much MTP has to offer, whether it's during or after cohorts are finished. Thank you for that response, Janet. Emily, question for you. Did you feel a sense of community that continued beyond the program?
Yes, I definitely did. Because first starting off as the assistant manager, there was a lot of people that I would see when I go to the main office or when I go to the cluster meetings. And, I didn't really interact with them, or I felt like, okay, well, maybe they won't want to talk to me, or maybe they won't give me information. So when I got into MTP and I met Janet and I met Tanya, I started talking and being more open and sharing resources. I definitely felt like, oh wow, like they're actually like they're helping me. Like I could have just spoke up before and got to know people, and I would have had a lot of help way before. So yes, I
Um,
did feel a sense of community after it.
awesome. That's so great. Thank you so much, Emily. Tanya, we're going to circle back to you. How did the program challenge your way of thinking as a manager and a leader? How did it challenge you?
The challenging part for me was conflict resolution. It had taught me not to take things personal, because it's very hard not to. And I appreciate the fact that you guys taught us now to be clear and to be concise. Um, and I was also always a little apprehensive with having one-to-ones with my staff, especially when things go wrong. My best, but do provide support, but also let them know exactly what it is and why this is happening.
Hmm,
So
amazing.
the challenging part for me, yes.
Yeah, definitely
Out of my
training
hard
is like
conversation.
huge. Training is huge, and MTP provides such great clarity around stuff like that. So,
Well,
Janet,
yeah.
how important was peer learning and networking with your participants to your growth?
I'd say crucial, actually. So, as I mentioned before, I consider myself a better team player because of MTP. It enabled me to trust myself as a leader, which is something I'd never really considered before. I'd always been sort of the quiet background character that lends,
Mhm.
support. And now I'm giving monthly trainings to our new hires on corporate compliance and our policies, and I'm speaking my mind during meetings, which is not where I was, a couple of years ago. Um, so yeah, I laugh at myself about that all the time. But yeah, I'm very much used to working on my own, and I never really had much luck with, working in a group or working with others. I'm an only child, so that probably explains it. Um, but when I was working on the group project that serves as MTP's final, I found myself working well with the three young women who were in my group, including Emily. Um,
Mhm.
and we didn't really know one another previously all that well. We sat close to each other during most of the classes, but we didn't really talk all that much. But we worked surprisingly well. Just communicating and letting each other have ideas and making our own ideas be known and heard and respected. And it was truly, truly wonderful. So, working in the J Street office, a lot of us are sort of on the outside looking in at all the programs
Mhm.
that we offer, and we're only really concerned about the aspect of work that concerns our specific tasks, like fiscal related or compliance related or whatever the case is. So all in all, I very, very much valued this very rare opportunity to work directly alongside my peers throughout all of HeartShare and gaining a better understanding of that life outside of the main office because we do a lot. And, when you're working in a bubble, you don't really notice it from the inside.
Mhm.
Yes, meant in a
Mhm.
bubble.
Mhm.
So definitely important question for Emily. For anyone thinking about coming into the MTP program, what has been the most impactful as a graduate?
Oh man, the most impactful part of MTP and being a graduate honestly has been the personal transformation experience. Before I started MTP, first becoming a manager, I was very shy, piggybacking off of Janet. I was very shy, I was very timid. And being young and going from DSP to now having to manage your coworkers that you were once friendly with, it was a very hard transition for me. And then going into a role where you have now a clinical team and now I have to change my whole demeanor and the way I look at things. It was very, very hard for me. I took a lot of things personal. I cried a lot. I had a lot of breakdowns. I just couldn't process a lot of things. I didn't understand certain things. I would get upset so easily. And I'll never forget one of the trainings we had. He did a segment on communication, and he said the biggest thing is the communication. And I think it's about like 80 or 90% of communication is nonverbal. So a lot of times I may come in here and I think, oh, well, I don't have an expression on my face or this and that. And the staff would feed off of that and they will be upset and they would, it'll just create a bad vibe. Or if they say something, I'll take it personal or I'll get mad. Or if they have a meeting and I feel like, all right, well, my point of view wasn't seen or anything like that, it will definitely frustrate me. And I would say after MTP, like, it was so impactful. It changed, like, I really grew and I really learned how to just change my whole management style because you learn to view things from a professional point of view, which I wasn't doing before. Like, I've learned how to not take things personal. But MTP has definitely allowed me to grow in a professional point of view, and it has definitely taught me how to speak to my staff and how to be patient with them because you're dealing with 10 different million personalities and they're gonna come at you. It's the growth in being a manager. I didn't have it before. And being professional, I did not have that before. I can't stress how much I didn't have it. And after taking MTP, I definitely have it. And I would say communication and being professional was the two things I took the most because that's what my struggle was transitioning from DSP to management. And MTP has definitely, taught me that.
Thank you, Emily, for that thoughtful response. So, I do have a bonus question. I mean, at the top of our talk, we shared your longevity with the agency as well as your growth over time. And how important has growth been to any one of you that be willing to answer the question? How important has growth been to your MTP journey as well as your time with HeartShare?
I'll take that. No one else is going to jump in. To be completely honest, it wasn't very. At the time that I started MTP, I was just kind of like, well, my supervisor put me in this class and I have to make the best of it and kind of,
Mhm.
take each day as it comes. But honestly, I don't think growth is something you can prepare for it, but it just kind of happens when you least expect it, Like I don't think the little things
Yeah.
I do differently today have much of an impact. But if I look at myself today versus what was that 4 or 5 years ago when we started that cohort, it it's phenomenal. I mean, I would never be speaking this much in any kind of Teams meeting or any kind of interview or anything like that. Um, so yeah, it's just something that you have to be willing to go along with on the ride and see what happens. So it's important now because I know it's something that's going to happen and I just have to make the best of it because, what else can we do?
Yeah.
Um, You all have shared so much great reflection just in terms of what that journey. I've heard a lot of self-introspection and reflective work from where you were before to where you are now. And your tenure with the agency is acknowledged and celebrated here on this interview and this platform. And the journey is just, it's just continuing. And I thank you all for your time today, and sharing what MTP has brought you and what that journey was like. And we're hopeful that more people will become interested in the program just through the lens that you all have provided here today.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so very much.